Tony. He's Mike, and we are here to do a quick and dirty on the nobody's heard of it Netflix released film Gunpowder Milkshake.
I'll give my thoughts first here on this one. Basically, girl gets abandoned by her hit mother in a diner. Girl becomes a hit woman herself. Girl takes on a job. Takes on an 8 3/4-year-old girl after killing her dad. Shenanigans ensue. For me, it's kind of John Wick for the ladies ish. The story wise for me, it kind of was as I watched this, like, you know what, this should have been what Those Who Want Me Dead should have been. Like,
Yes.
if you took Angelina Jolie and plugged her in this role and stripped away all the stylized violence and acting and made just a straight John Wick kind of movie, could have had something there.
I'm going to actually say that they tried to do that with Atomic Blonde. And Atomic Blonde was not the runaway hit that they were expecting. So while this one has a very stylized kind of stylized violence, but almost a comic booky feel and look to it, I actually think it works for this. I think that like the heart and soul of this film is in that look. And if you take it away, the film is not better for it.
Well, let me get there, because I was going to get there here. Starting it off, the acting is like, it's very weird at the beginning. It's very stiff. It's almost like watching a stage play, kind of, sort of, if that makes any sense. But then as it went along, it kind of loosened up a little bit. It felt a little more natural. But I know this director has only done like a couple movies prior to this. So as a result of that, Karen Gillan, I know, can do better than this in a movie.
Yeah.
She acts fine, but the way she's directed didn't work for me, because again, got that stiff dialogue, and especially like the first time where she meets the three ladies in the library, everybody's like really stiff, and it's like very mechanical how they're communicating with each other. It bothered the hell out of me, and I know she knew better than this because we've seen her in other movies. As a matter of fact, I think all the ladies in this movie could have been better directed. The tone was kind of inconsistent because, like you said, it's very stylized. So at one point, it's very Edgar Wright and very James Gunn in the way these sequences are played out.
Actually, I was going to say it's very Zack Snyder in some of its action sequences.
That too, I can see that as well. Yes.
Yeah, and not in a bad way. I'm not saying that in a bad way. This is more along the lines of like 300 style fight scenes, but with gunplay instead of with spears and speedos. So.
So you had scenes that are like that, but then you also had scenes that are very John Wickish too at the same time. Yeah. So it's like, pick one or the other. Don't mix both of them. Again, this guy's only done a couple movies prior to this, so I think he just hasn't really found his own style yet. He hasn't found his voice. So I think going down the road, it'll be good. I mean, this wasn't a bad movie. It was just
no.
You could tell it was somebody's first attempt at a big budget movie, and it was fairly solid for the most part. So if you like Karen Gillan, if you like the mom from the Sarah Connor Chronicles,
Lena Headey,
yeah, you probably like it. It's a mild recommend for me. Me personally, I can kind of take it or leave it.
And well, I really enjoyed the movie. For me, it is a recommend. I'm just going to get that out of the way right now. I get what you're saying about Karen Gillan's performance. She's supposed to be stiff. She was most definitely directed to be very cold and mechanical because she's a killer and she's detached. And then as the film goes on and you get to see more of her as a person, and she kind of becomes more fleshed out throughout. Lena Headey as her mom, like the minute that Lena Headey showed back up in the film was the moment that the movie really starts for me. That was like the kickstart there. Paul Giamatti, I fucking love in everything. I just rewatched Sideways like 4 or 5 days ago. And I forget how funny that fucking movie is. And Paul Giamatti just completely owns that whole film. Angela Bassett and Vera Wong and Carla Gugino are the three ladies that are librarians.
Carla Gugino's a fantastic actress. I think she's very underrated.
Yeah, she's amazingly underrated. And it's like, this is like, we're going to call this movie hot women over 50, and you would have got me to watch it a lot sooner, because really that's what it is.
Milfs with guns.
Yes, yeah. The whole library thing, there are most definitely elements borrowed from John Wick. There's no disputing that one at all. And there's like some visuals that are very heavily influenced. And you're right, as a director, I don't think that he's found his voice yet.
Yeah.
It's not unique, but at the same time, it strikes me as a young filmmaker, and he's imitating. When he actually figures out the kind of movie that he wants to make, he's going to be like making some really solid action films, because the bones of this are all there.
Yeah.
The fight sequences were really well done. They were really well edited. You could actually see what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And no scene felt like it went on too long. Nothing felt like it was chopped together to give it more actiony bounce. It's like
a couple of the fight scenes for me went too long. I think the fight scene in the hospital, where she has to beat up those 3 guys again for the second time, went on about 2 minutes too long. That was a very long sequence.
I could see where you would say that. For me, I kind of get why that one went on a little long. That one did feel a little bit padded, but the fight in the library was great. Everything about that was great. And then that one shot at the end of the film with the shootout in the diner, which is just one tracking shot that goes from the left of the diner all the way to the right of the diner. That was amazing. That was like, you could tell like that was the scene that he was building for this whole fucking movie. He really wanted to make that shot, and it worked. It worked really well. I've never seen anything quite like that.
Sure you did. You saw it in 300.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like 300.
You saw it in Guardians 2. It's been done quite a few times, and again, it's one of those things where
I haven't seen. I've passively watched Guardians 2. I'm not like a woo-woo. I love, the Guardians films. They're there. I've never made it through the first one.
But again, you've seen the scene. It's the same thing. It's long, drawn-out shootout to music. And
I've seen that several times.
Is huge for that.
I was actually going to say, the director also, he wrote and directed this, and there's some Quentin Tarantino-esque cues in this film as well. So you can definitely, if you see the film, you'll definitely know who this guy's influences are. Mm-hmm. And he's got solid picks for the directors he'd like to borrow from. It doesn't feel like a wholly original thing, and it doesn't feel like his style has marinated enough yet. When it does, I think he's going to make some good stuff. I didn't mind this. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. Because there was some stuff in here that actually had me laugh out loud.
There's some good chuckles in there.
Yeah, and there's some stuff that I'd actually just like to watch again to see, like, oh yeah, okay, now I get that. So that's why I want to go back and rewatch it. I'm not saying I'm going to run out and buy it on Blu-ray because I'm going to watch it 10 times, but I will watch this one again just so I can pick up on all the little cues that I didn't get the first time I watched it. See, for me, this is kind of like, it reminds me a lot of Boss Level in that it's not an original idea.
Yeah.
It's a mishmash of other ideas that I've seen before, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't offensive. It wasn't bad. This is actually like in the top third of movies that we've watched this summer from the streaming services.
Well, the bar's really fucking low, so that's not really saying a whole hell of a lot, It
is. No, you're absolutely right. The bar is incredibly low, and I would rather watch 5 movies like this one than another Godzilla versus King Kong or Mortal Kombat, because those movies were, I can't believe that like the plan was to release those into theaters, because they're some of the dumbest shit I've seen, not just this year, but in my memory. I mean, like Godzilla versus King Kong rated with the shit that we would watch on Saturdays on Channel 11 for the throwaway movie matinee that they had during the weekends. So, this was head and shoulders above a lot of the bigger budgeted films that were released straight to streaming.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope. We will see you guys the next time for the Suicide Squad.